Khan. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. I would also like to give a double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which will be preached throughout all four corners of this earth and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwath. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to get into a brief live stream going into this article I came across on Natural News, which is talking to the imminent Third World War, which is going to be a catastrophic, it's going to be a catastrophic war between America and Russia. We know this, pursuing the biblical prophecy. It's going to be a catastrophic event. And, you know, you got Trump trying to push for peace talks. You know, he's trying to pretty much delay, you know, the reality of the fate of Babylon the Great, aka America. And we understand that, as you know, as we know, all wars are bankers' wars. All right, we know at the end of the day, you know, the international banking families, the elite, you know, have their back, and these puppets that they set up within these various nations. But ultimately, we know all roads lead back to the master chess player, all right, which is our power, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai. He's controlling, you know, every event, you know, that's taking place on this world stage, all right, including this Third World War that's inevitably going to be triggered, all right, in the days to come. As a matter of fact, let's get this precept real quick. Let's open up with this. All right, which will pretty much draw the line between who's in control here and who's not. And we'll just go from there through the spirit. The book of Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 1, and it reads, "The king's heart," which that word heart in the Hebrew is lab, which is your mind, "is in the hand of the Lord Yahweh." And if something's in your hand, you control its destiny, man. All right? "As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will." All right? So the Lord's triggering the elite, all right, to maneuver certain chess pieces, all right, to literally do what the Lord's will requires them to do. You see how this is playing out? All right? And ultimately, where this thing's going to go, all right, it's going to lead, where this thing is going to lead to, all right, is a thermonuclear fallout. All right, and what we're to do, you know, as the servants of the Lord, the prophets, the seers, the watchmen, you know, Lord willing, we're those men, right, is to sound the alarm. We're to sound the alarm in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai's holy mountain. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, and verse 1, and it reads, "The word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet." Now, it's very critical to understand the context, you know, of Jeremiah, you know, 49, 50, 51. You come to the realization, you come into the understanding of this can't be talking about the Neo-Babylonian Empire, okay? How the Neo-Babylonian Empire went out, it can't be talking about them. You see? Because it was just a takeover. The Medo-Persians just took them over. It was just a transition of power. You see, so when we tap into the next few precepts, you got to make it make sense. All right? This is talking to the daughter of Babylon, and what this is talking about. All right, which we know prophetically, the daughter of Babylon will be no other demographic but America. Okay? This place fits the bill. All right, this is the daughter of Babylon. And even if you go on an AI review or AI overview, if you look it up on Evo E's Google, AI will tell you. You see? But needless to say, I'm jumping down to verse 22, and it reads, a sound of battle. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start at verse 21. It reads, go up against the land of Merathaim, okay? Even against it. And when you go into this word Merathaim, all right, it goes into double rebellion. Matter of fact, let's go get this in the blue letter real quick. For edification. For those of you beloved Akim and Akwat that may not know. All right? Hey, the heading reads in the blue letter Bible, the heading of Jeremiah 50, the heading reads, Babylon judged for sins against Israel, bro. You see? This landmass is going to get judged for, why? It's the controversy of Zion, man. The Lord didn't forget. The Lord never forgot what you done or what you people did to Jacob over here, man. All right? And Russia's not going to go unscathed either. They're just used as a tool to fulfill the Lord's wrath. But needless to say, Jeremiah 50, so like I'm in 51. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, and verse 21, and it reads, go up against the land of Merathaim, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekod. And again, this word Merathaim goes into double rebellion. All right, and Pekod goes into visitation. Right, we're going to show you something real quick, which this is the spirit. Right, real quick.
Page 4850. Marah. Marah.
All right. And when you go into it, again, it goes into double rebellion. Under biblical usage, it says what? Another name for Babylon. Okay? And when you take a glance into this place, the daughter of Babylon, America, this low land, all right, as you can see, as it tells us in Job 10, all right, this is a land without any order. A land where even the light is as darkness, bro. As darkness itself, man. You see? Because this place is, it's the world stage for open rebellion. Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, man. All wickedness is springboarded out of this place, man. Okay? And there's a penalty for that. This is why this place is going to be that lake of fire you read about in the book of Revelations, man. All right? This is that lake of fire the Lord's talking about. This is the landmass that's going to become the lake of fire. All right? After those missiles and the chariots to shoot that concentrated heat in this place, man. This is the reality of the fate of this place, bro. And we don't want to be joined unto it. All right? Now, real quick. All right? And another thing worth mentioning. When you go into the root word of Merathaim.
Strong's H4751. Mad.
It goes into bitter. All right? Mar. Amar. Right? Which that's where you get America, Amar. Right? It goes into bitterness, right? Bitter. Okay? And this has been a bitter captivity, man. The worst of all of them. This is the seventh and final most bitter captivity we had to suffer. All right? We suffered under the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Medes, the Persians, the Greeks, the Romans, and now this revival Western Roman Empire, man. This has been the worst. All right? All right? So look at, now when I go, let me see. When I go get this other word, Pekod, you're going to find out, we already mentioned it, it goes into visitation.
Strong's H6489. Pekod.
Right, Pekod, visitation. You see? This place is going to be visited for its double rebellion. It's going to be visited for the blood, all right, that's soaked on it, of the Israelites. You see? This place, that blood has to be disclosed. There's no way around it. And the Lord's going to execute that judgment, all right, by turning you people into a sacrifice upon this altar, which is Babylon the Great. You can read about that in Isaiah, the 34th chapter. But needless to say, what I want to do because I want to go back and want to continue on in Jeremiah chapter 50. Let's continue on down in verse 21 again, and we'll keep it moving. Verse 22 is my point. Go up against the land of Merathaim, even against it and against the inhabitants of Pekod. Waste and utterly destroy after them, saith the Lord Yahweh, and do according to all that I have commanded thee, man. All right, and as we go into the lesson, well, for those of you that don't know, you're going to find out that Russia, Gog, Magog, is going to be the, what's the word I'm looking for? Russia's going to lead the charge. Okay? Biblical prophecy shows us that Russia's going to lead the charge, man. All right, this is why there's no peace negotiations, man, with Putin, man. They don't want to hear it. Okay? They're dead set, all right, on a global takeover. But at the end of the day, when you look at it for what it is, they're on board with the NWO as well. Because again, we got to remember that the elite, have a play in this. You see, they're playing. All wars are bankers' wars. So they're playing a role. All right, in this whole, tensions from in the east and in the west. They're playing a role in it, but they don't have control. Is the point? They're playing a role, but they don't got control, and we prove that with Proverbs 21:1. Okay. At the end of the day, the master chess player Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is controlling the movements, all right, of these kings. It's starting with the elite, But let me continue on. Verse 22, a sound of battle, Jeremiah 50:22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction, bro. All right, and it's unavoidable. And this is the alarm we're sounding. The men of the Lord are sounding this alarm. We're letting you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know, listen, danger's over the horizon, man. If you don't repent and turn back to your power while you still can, you're going to die, man. You're going to die a grievous death. And we're warning you and telling you, bro. We're trying to warn you. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is going to burn people alive upon this second death. This is what he's going to do. All right? And if you think he's bluffing, go read Genesis, the 6th chapter. Okay? He wasn't bluffing then. What makes you think he's bluffing now? You see? He's going to burn people alive, man. And guess what? You over here in Babylon the Great America. So you in the mouth of the beast. So fire is coming here guaranteed. All right? We know fire is definitely going to Israel. Fire is definitely coming upon Moab. You can read about that in 2nd Ezra 15. The Lord is going to bring fire upon Moab. You see? And in various other locations of the earth. Okay? There's going to be a nuclear weapons exchange, bro. It's what's going to go down, which is going to cause that thermonuclear fallout. And on top of that, we have to always mention the chariots, man. All right, the chariots are going to do Esau filthy. You see? They're going to be on the move. They're going to be busting moves, man. Okay? But anyways, and this is what we're trying to tell you, Jake, man. All right, but listen, let's read that again. Jeremiah 50:22. A sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction, bro. And it's a build up, It's a build up. This is why we bring out these articles. Because when you go into the articles, you can clearly see, all right, that things are not taking a turn for peace. All right, things are not taking a turn for things are not being smoothed out. All right, there's no peace to the wicked, thus saith our power, man. And we know the wicked are ruling right now. And the same way they came into power is the same way the Lord's going to take them out. You see? Natural News. This is from Natural News, right? It's dated December 6, 2025. The title reads, Putin rules out Russia's return to Western G7 bloc. Okay, they want Russia to return back to the G7. They ain't doing it. They're not going. Okay, they got the BRICS on the move, bro. All right, and you're going to see this in their stance. Let me show you the article. All right, so you can find it. Because I'm not going to read the whole thing. Check this out. Putin firmly rejects rejoining the G7, dismissing the group's relevance and signaling Russia's continued strategic pivot toward the BRICS alliance, which now surpasses the G7 in economic scale. Right? They had a more prominent gross domestic product, I believe, last year. Look at this refusal occurs within the context of Trump's strategy to reintegrate Russia into the Western fold as means to isolate China and reshape global power dynamics, with implications for Ukraine and Europe. European leaders strongly oppose Russia's return to the G7, creating a transatlantic divide as Trump's American first approach clashes with Europe's commitment to maintaining sanctions against Moscow. Esau is divided. Okay? And we already know what the Lord said about that. And Mark comes to mind. All right, a kingdom divided, a house divided, it cannot stand. If Satan rises up against Satan, they're divided. But look at the European Union strongly opposes Russia's return because Russia turned. This article is from the 6th. Russia threatened NATO a couple of days before this article came out, man. As a matter of fact, I believe that article is not too many pages behind. Let me see something real quick. I know I had it right. Let me see something. Yeah, I have it right here. All right. And that's why I got the thumbnail. This is from Natural News as well. All right. And the title reads, Putin warns Europe of all-out war amid visit of Trump envoys to Ukraine peace talks. Okay. So you see how things are corresponding with the other? So upon Trump's envoys to go to Ukraine for peace talks, Putin sent a stock message to Europe. And what did he let them know? All right, check this out. Russian President Vladimir Putin explicitly warned that Moscow is ready right now for an all-out war if NATO escalates involvement in Ukraine, threatening total military annihilation with no one left to negotiate, bro. Okay? The Lord's putting the spirit on him to go. Again, the scriptures highlight it. When you go to the book of, what's that? Isaiah 13? I'm going to jump down real quick on this. Let me see. Now, that's pretty much the point. That brings it on home. Let's read it again. Russian President Vladimir Putin explicitly warned that Moscow is ready right now for an all-out war if NATO escalates involvement in Ukraine, threatening total military annihilation with no one left to negotiate, bro. Okay? So this is how old boy's feeling right now, man. Okay, let's go back to the other article. And this is the reality. Matter of fact, let me grab that Isaiah real quick. You see? The book of Isaiah, chapter 13, and verse 17. And it reads, Behold, matter of fact, let me start from verse 1. Look it, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. And again, this can't be talking about the Neo-Babylonian Empire. Okay? It can't be. As I'm going to jump down to verse 17 and 18 and 19 and prove the point. It can't be. Because again, it was a takeover. All right? History, the scholars know this. All right? That's why they're left scratching their heads. But a lot of them know the reality of it being the daughter of Babylon. This is prophecy talking about here. They know it. But they don't dare say it. You see? Because just like the 501c3 tax charter Renaissance Christianity churches, pastors, they got a gag order on them. But they know. It makes it, hey, who else could it be? The book of Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. This is the Lord saying he will stir up the Medes, which is Russia, Gog, Magog, against who? Against Babylon. How do we know the Medes is Russia? Demographically, if you go see it on a map right now, where Russia's located is located right where the Medo-Persian Empire was at. The Medes, excuse me. Okay? So you got to make it make sense. You got to, if you have spiritual discernment, right? Like the lesson we went into the other day, regarding the clown, demon Hakah, and his rhetoric regarding the Canaanites being the Nephilim and Genesis 6 and 4, you dummy. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about right now. Spiritual discernment will lead you to believe, or understand rather, that the Medes is talking to Russia real time in this chapter, in this verse. You see that? Look it. And there's times where Russia's also likened unto the land of the north. Check this out. Right? I'm going to read it from the top. Isaiah 13 and 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver. And as for gold, they shall not delight in it. There's no negotiating with them, man. Negotiating with them. All right? They're dead set on the mission that they're on. And it's the Lord that got them on that mission. You see? Look it. Their bows, which are the missiles, also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Right? In the neighboring cities, bro. Zoar, Zeboim, and Admah. All right? That land to this very day has the highest sulfur rate in the sand, in the soil. Okay? You can actually get sulfur balls and light them on fire to this very day. Okay? The Lord visited that place, bro. And the Lord's likening his visitation unto Babylon the same way he visited them. He's going to visit them with fire, man. He's going to visit this place with fire. Again, the Neo-Babylonian Empire wasn't visited with fire. Didn't happen. That land is still inhabited over there right now. You see? Which is modern day Iraq. Come on now. Let's go. Right? So now let's jump back to the article real quick. There's a little bit of the main article I want to get. There's a little bit more. All right, continuing on. I'm jumping down to, let me see here. Continuing on in the article. All right, the article that's titled, Putin Rules Out Russia's Return to Western G7 Bloc. All right, we're back in the main article. All right, it reads, BRICS is presented as a rising alternative world order, offering a model focused on fair trade and mutual development outside Western-dominated institutions, challenging the era of Western economic hegemony. But ultimately, understand, we know, right? This all leads to the one world order at the end of the day. You know, this war is just something that the elite think they're going to be able to trigger and control and, you know, come out of the smoke like the Phoenix bird type shit. You know, not realizing, as Yahweh Shai said, how does it go? Let me get it real quick. I can't quote it. I'm throwing a blink, but I know what I want. We're just going through the spirit, man. Luke 12 and 49. All right, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? This is red letter Yahweh Shai speaking. You see? Red letter Yahweh Shai speaking, bro. At the end of the day, all right, unbeknownst to the elite, Yahweh Shai is gonna pop up with the fleet, with the host of heaven, man. Okay? Him riding upon that fathership, bro. You see? And they're going to exercise vengeance and fury that the earth has never seen. You see? This type of destruction that the Lord's going to bring is going to reshape the landmass. It's going to remove islands. It's going to, you know what I mean? I love my brothers in Hawaii, but Hawaii might not be there, man. But them brothers will get delivered out of there. Hawaii might, I speak as a man, man. You know what I mean? Hawaii's out of here, man. Okay? But you know the beloved brothers are going to come up out of there, man. Abaratazar, the beloved brother Gabar Yahawada, and the other beloved brother, you know they out of there, man. The Lord's going to scoop them. The Lord's gonna scoop them right up out of there, bro. Okay? But you know Hawaii and these other mountains, islands, you know, are gonna be moved out of the way. You know? The Lord's gonna work a work. The Lord's gonna work a work, man. And these people think the Lord's playing. Let's read it one more time. Luke 12:49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled, bro? Come on now. That's a little clue right there. Right? But let's go back. Bear with me. Continuing on in the article, right? I'm jumping all the way down. As Putin steers Russia towards BRICS and Trump pushes to redraw alliances, the world watches a high-stakes recalibration of power. For now, Putin's refusal to rejoin the G7 serves as a stark reminder the era of Western economic hegemony is fading, and the battle for the next world order has only just begun. And the next world order consists of all you heathen falling in order, okay, and being subdued by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, as scripture says, 2nd Esdras, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. All right, there's no new world order coming for you heathen to be ruling. All right, that's not a reality pursuing the biblical prophecy. Again, Russia's being used to take Babylon the Great out. This is what Russia's being used for, bro. But the sword's gonna fall upon Gog, Magog as well. Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai is gonna visit them, man. Okay, it tells you that in Ezekiel. As a matter of fact, let me get this real quick in Revelations. This is the book of Revelations. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 7. And it reads, and when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, right? And that 1,000 years that expired was that 1,000-year period, all right, from the fall of the West Roman Empire, all right, to the resurrecting of that system via the Renaissance period. All right, you had a period called the Dark Ages. Okay, they also call it the medieval times. Okay, it's when Esau was subjugated. All right, during the time of the Byzantine Empire, Esau was in Europe looking crazy through, crawling all around caves, moving like a madman. Your neighborhood raccoon. All right. Now that 1,000 years expired, right? And this nigga was loosed. See, Satan, when you read 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, it tells us that their workings are after the workings of Satan. You see, where Satan goes into adversary. Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, woman, and child, all right, operate under the frequency of the prince of the power of the air. Look at this dude's system. Look at his setup. You see? Yeah, there it goes. It's completely adverse to righteousness, man. Everything about it. And then when he tries to dress it up, okay, like it's something righteous on any level, you can see through it. You can see through the reality of him trying to justify something. Like, why are there murderers in prison, bro? You see? They should be in the spiritual world. They're just taking up space. But here it is. Esau he'll give them 600 years in prison. What kind of sense does that make? You see? the wisdom of wickedness is not wisdom. How does it go? The prudence of wisdom. I know it's in the Apocrypha. They ain't got it. They're not meant to be judges on the earth. They're not meant to be rulers. They're not meant to be in a leadership position. And that's just one example. But needless to say, Let me get this real quick. Right, continuing on in Revelations chapter 20 and verse 7 again. And when 1,000 years are expired, and we just made the point, right? It expired via the Renaissance, right? Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. All right, and this is when they were able to what? Go through all four corners of the earth, lying, which is going to tell us, right? Deceiving the nations, claim the inheritance of being Israelites, right? They were committing iconoclasm. You know, this is when they blaspheme the Holy Spirit by dressing up the Lord as a clean leper. The Heavenly Father's a clean leper. All the prophets are clean lepers. Our forefathers and foremothers are all clean lepers, man. All right, this is when this nigga pushed this damnable heresy doctrine. All right, this is when he did it. It started in Italy. All right, during the time of antiquity. You see? But check it out, though. Revelations 20 and 8. And shall go to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. See? Because, again, one of Esau's blessings or what have you is he's been given the gift. He can deceive. He's a wizard. His old lady's a witch. Okay? They deceive. They use witchcraft. Okay? The same spirit that was in the serpent is in these people, man. Okay? And he went through all four corners of the earth and lying. But guess what? There's a penalty for that. Look at God, Magog, to gather them together to battle. You see that? The number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Because as we know, bricks is coming deep. With assembly of nations, bro. Like it tells us in Jeremiah. Okay? And even Babylon's allies are going to turn on him. As we know, pursuing we can actually close out with that. Pursuing the Revelations, chapter 17. Right? And I'm gonna start from the bottom and read up. I got this from my beloved brother Ayashamath out of Mississippi, the beloved priest. A couple of years ago, he read it like this. It hits hard. Right? Check it out. Revelations 17 and verse 18. I'm gonna read up to 16. Right? And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Right? Talking about America. Right? For Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai hath put it in their hearts, in their lab. Okay? To what? To fulfill his will. Going back to that Proverbs 21 and 1. Showing you that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he is the master chess player. Right? What's that? Is that Job 12 and 16? I want to say. The deceived and the deceiver are his. Right? Read it from the top, right? Revelations 17 and 17. For Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai hath put it in their hearts, right? In their lab, in their minds, to fulfill his will, right? To fulfill his desire. See, the Lord's controlling everybody. And to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai should be fulfilled, bro. Okay? And what's it tell us in Matthew 24 and 14? This gospel of the kingdom shall be preached to all nations, right? Throughout all four corners of the earth, bro. And then the end's gonna come. You see, this testimony gotta go out, man. Okay? All this is part of biblical prophecy, man. I was bringing out this information, measuring the times diligently within itself. Okay? All this is prophetic. What's happening real time. Look at, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, right? Which is the EU, right? Those vassal states, right? These shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate. So they're going to turn on her, man. There's going to come a time where they're going to turn on her, but we see the division. It was very important. We highlighted in our article the division between the European Union and America via the Trump's making America great again, home move, and everything else is going on. They're divided already. We're seeing the building blocks to the complete betrayal. Okay, we're seeing it. You could see it. Boom, it's happening. You know, now it's only a matter of time. But look at Revelation 17 and 16. The 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore Okay, remember the whore rides upon the beast, the whore being America. See, she rides upon it. Okay, the 7-headed 10-horn beast, bro. She's the whore that rides on it. She rides on the NATO and the EU. You see? Look it. And she'll make her desolate and naked, and she'll eat her flesh and burn her with fire, man. And that's the reality of the end game, okay, of this demonic kingdom. And this is the reality, bro. All right? This is the reality, man. Like, hey, we're going on a 250th year anniversary next year of this place, bro. And according to Esau's statistics, this place is on borrowed time. All right? And we got to keep praying for the downfall, man. Keep putting up curses through the spirit. And keep praying for fewer days, man. You know? Because, again, the only way to get home is to go through the straight gate. There ain't no other way. Because the Lord is coming. He's gunning for this place, bro. Isaiah 63. You know? And if we're in his good graces, we ain't got nothing to worry about, man. That's why it's critical, you know, for us to just continue to operate, you know, according to the blueprint that Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has given us, man. You know? No side missions, like the beloved elder says, Elder Yashimam. No side missions, man. Stay locked in, stay focused, go this way. Straight. You know? And if the Lord is truly dealing with you as times, you know, continue to get worse out here, man, and the walls continue to close in, you know, the Lord's going to bless us with a great measure of spirit, bro. And you better believe that them angels, bro, our angels are going to be ministering unto us, man. All right? Hey, some of us, our feet are going to come off the ground, and we're going to get caught up in the prophecy of Revelation 11. And some of us are going to have to earn our crown through being a martyr and fulfilling Revelations 20 and 4. It's just the way the story goes. But understand this, we win either way. It goes. Doesn't matter. And that's what we have to stand firm on. The Lord ain't leave any stone unturned. He was very clear on how this thing's going to play out. And if he's dealing, guess what? We ain't going to have nothing to worry about. We're going to be comforted all the way through. The Lord said he will not leave us comfortless, man. All right, he will come to us. So I'm going to leave it right there, beloved Akiyam and Akwab. Hey, Lord willing, you were edified, Abaratazah. You know, you were spiritually fed through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And Lord willing, you were informed. All right, with all these mass distractions that's happening right now with these sellouts, you know, Esau pulling on his moves of distraction in the cut, you know, niggas doing these backdoor deals and, you know, all types of other psyops that are taking place. The men of the Lord are watching, man. Hey, nothing's gonna go under the men of the Lord's nose through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You see? The men of the Lord are watching close. Close, very, very close. Okay? And what we're going to do through the Spirit is we're going to make sure that, Lord willing, you know, we do what we need to do to please Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, man. We're in a time where he's requiring more from us, man. And we just got to do it. You know? It's not, don't talk about it, be about it. You know, because the Lord's going to be about it. You know? We're about to get out of here, man. Let's fight. Let's fight until the end, man. You know? Let's go. Hey, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. Hey, double honors to the beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Once again, beloved Akiyam and Akwab, Lord willing, you were edified. Lord willing, you were spiritually fed. And Abaratazah, you were informed through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom.